Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mac's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.sheilamac.com today.
Here on NBC's KCAA Radio, Mondays at 1 and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
Welcome to the Sheila Mac Show, reality at its finest. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your business and personal life on your terms. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and today we have special guest, GIGI Littlefield. GIGI was born and raised in Ecuador. She is bilingual in English and Spanish, and she moved to Los Angeles in 1994. She's happily married for over 25 years, and her husband have only had one daughter, Michelle, who is now with us physically, not with us physically right now, but definitely spiritually, and she will always be with us. GIGI has been a realtor since 2003 and currently works as a realtor at Century 21. She is in the process of writing her first book, Michelle's Book, an inspirational novel about her daughter Michelle's life, using many of her daughter's journals and reference material for this book. GIGI and her husband are very into health and fitness. They've run karate fitness studios for many years. GIGI now also teaches karate at a school in Santa Clarita. She loves to help others and inspire people to be and become their best version of themselves. Now, GIGI was a host of a TV show and editor of a magazine in Ecuador and will use her knowledge in these fields to write Michelle's story and use scripts from a film about her life's journey. GIGI has a strong faith practice and believes that we all have talents to share with one another. All right, welcome to the show, GIGI.
Thank you for having me today, Sheila. It's a pleasure to be with you.
And one of the questions I like to ask is, this show started, it was based on my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. And obviously, you and I have similar situations, losing a loved one. And I like to start off with maybe a share about any situation you feel comfortable sharing about where you hit a tough spot in life and how you got back on track.
Thank you. Well, we all the human beings who will have through very difficult situations in their life. But these ones, when it's unexpected situations, like the one day to the other day, so it's the ones really hit hard us, because we make our life based, and especially when you are a mother, you feel like this is like you have the commitment with your kid and your children to be this person and be there all the time for them and guide them. So when you feel like you have completely control, but basically we don't have no control about nothing. Mm-hmm. And when you discover this part, it's really hard. And like the way you will confront like this hardship or this difficult situation is the main part of our life, or the life of everyone. So when this happened to me, and almost 5 years ago, mm-hmm. I was in the time of my life that I consider everything was in place, everything was okay. I have a healthy daughter, and she was 19 years old, and she was the very incredible example for other young people. And this is how I would like to talk, because my message is for this. And in this book, I was trying to compilate all the the experience of Michelle in how like she confront all these difficulties that like all the young people go through in this life, and especially because we have a lot of pressure, the peers pressure and the environment pressure. And but Michelle was trying always to stand in her solid principles and values, and don't let the peers pressure change her. And so I think, and that was something that she wants to communicate. She wants to be a writer too. So we both pursued the same passion. I like it's like be able to communicate and transform lives with the good message. And I think in the good message is like we all are unique, and we all have inside like this spirit, the flame, like for do good things and be good and transform the life of others, because I believe in the service, and that you do things is for others, for helping others to improve and be their best version. So I think in when we have like a solid principle values and faith, this is the column that will help you to survive, because I think that we are survivors. We are all need to try is the pursuit happiness, but in pursuit happiness is not like the destination. I think it's the experience that we will have and how we will confront and all these difficulties. And so I think for me and my family, when we have like I the one to another day, like it was completely was the change of our life, because we dedicate too much to Michelle to try to help her. And so I think in this is not only one situation. I have like close to the when the accident of Michelle happened, it was I lost my best friend with cancer, and Michelle was trying to help me to cope with the situation that she was very sick and for her illness, and so she was trying always to be my support. And I was thinking I will need to be prepared, and as a mother, because we have a similar experience, and so you never are really prepared for receive some this kind of knowledge, like it will change your life. Like it was devastated for us, but especially I have like when I see my life, and I was thinking, well, we are all warriors. We're all ready to fight and defeat everything that is trying to put us at rock bottom, like line in your book.
Yes.
So that is what I tried when I received it, because it was an accident. It was a car crash. So it was like I was talk with her like 11:30, and at midnight she was not in this world. Like, and so how you receive as a mother, she was my only child, my one and only, and my precious girl, and how you can help other mothers that will go through this situation, or how you can help the people to be and is still strong and try to. I think in that this is the commitment we have, like trying to inspire other women, or they inspire other people to really fight for be happy. I think and we are created for be happy and for help others. And so that is what I was trying to do since day one, and when Michelle was gone, and physical body,
Right.
her physical body, but spiritually she is with us still. and and so that's the important things. I think is like when you are in having like this very difficult times, it is you are connected with this part, this spiritual part, or you are connected with your this kind of values that will make you strong. So I think, and we all need to is pursued to trying to have a like this connection, this spiritual connection, because we are not only the physical body, we
Right.
have the mind and we have the spirit. And this physical body, I always try to be very in shape, and like you say, like I teach karate, and I'm instructor of karate. Like right now we don't have like so many kids that I was teaching. I love to teach karate too. And but I will try to, with this book that Michelle send the message that you can be doing the good things, and be real loyal to your values, because this is the main thing. Like especially for the young people, they are trying to imitating. We all human beings, we are trying to imitating the role models,
Yes.
the father, the parents, the teachers. And so when we are an adult, we trying to find out who we are. So, and I think, and this is very important, that you know that you are created for something great. And that's is what I think. And it was like the part, like I try to, with this is my mission right now, like to try to help other people to keep this smiling. I think, and it's you attitude is very important. If you wake up one day and you feel like really like, some days like when you feel like, and you have probably many of these days, and you agree with me in this, like sometimes you wake up and you don't really want to do nothing, you don't want to like brush your hair, or but something inside you was telling you that I need to do it. I need to do it, not for me, but for the other people that love me. So I think, and that is what I always, the people don't understand. Why is you're so happy all the time? I said, because this is what we need to do, like for trying to transform the life of others and helping others. And so that's is my main things right now, is to trying to help other people that be happy, and know, like always is, things are not permanent. Nothing is permanent. Even like the pain is not permanent.
Exactly.
And we can try to work out like in this part, and be positive. I think, and this is very important, to try to be always positive, and try to communicate with others and helping others.
Yes, and so I know Michelle and Gigi and I are friends, and our children actually went to school together. They went to Holy Redeemer School,
Yeah,
elementary, I think middle school, maybe it was middle school.
middle school.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if they went to did they go to Montessori together as well, or no?
No,
Okay.
they met in Holy Redeemer
Yes, and
together.
so, but they were really good friends. All the three, my two young ones and Michelle were just always together, coming over to the house, going to each other's house, spending time together. They got along very well. Sleepovers,
Yeah.
and we have lots of pictures together, and fun memories. And you think, oh my gosh, how does this happen? And I know for Michelle, it was a drag racing. It was something with other people, and she was an innocent person driving home from work.
Yes.
And I know it hit me as somebody that I felt so close to your daughter, and I would check in often with you after that. And then last year I lost my son, and so I'm in that same boat now. My Michael, actually, the first time he was diagnosed with his heart condition was at Holy Redeemer on the basketball field.
Oh wow.
And he was diagnosed with Wolff Parkinson White syndrome, and it's a heart condition. And so we could have lost him that day in 5th grade. And got lucky to have him for many extra years until 22. Yet and I always worried, but I never thought. And, you don't know what to expect. And as a parent, when something like this happens, you got to go through, you got to honor the grieving. You got to, there are emotions. You're going to feel all kinds of everything. I think a little differently than when you lose an adult. When we lose a young child in this world, it's a little different. Even if it's a friend, we feel it.
Exactly, because
Yes, and so
you expect to have like them to do all, they conquer all this. When you see some young person, like you see how like they are so bright and they are ready to conquer all the fears and work so hard for their goals and the achievements in this life. And when something like this is abrupt, like stop then for what
yes,
you're thinking, like it's really, it's very devastated as parents. And special because we always will think that we are going to go first. And that is the conversation I always have with Michelle, and she was always worried about, well, what we want to do, like when we get old or something. She was always very mature, very
yes,
thinking about ahead the years. Even she wrote the letter, and my husband, he made the website for Michelle, and I take a lot of material from like his website. And the Michelle wrote the letter. Want to say that when she was 13 years old, and she was seeing herself when she will be 34 years old, and to the friend. And
mhm,
she was putting like and she said herself, hi, and I am 34 years old and I am married, I have 3 kids, I am a writer, and I have like published 2 books. And it was incredible how we create always every day. We always are anticipated, or we are always thinking about the future, we are always connected with the future, so we forget sometimes to live in the present. And that is very important, I think, because sometimes it's so hard to let it go, things that attach us in the past,
right,
or we are always preoccupied for what will happen in the future. So my things, since Michelle was not here in the physical body, is exactly this. I work a lot in myself to try to live in the present time,
mm-hmm,
give to others the best version of me, like the best I can, for try to really can help the people do the same. Because yeah, we're imitators, for this is our nature, so it's, you can lead and you can make the difference in the life of other people. That is my goal in this life, that's my purpose.
yes,
Yeah, and I know I can no imagine when I find out about your son.
mm-hmm,
It was really totally devastating me, because it's like to living again, like same situation.
right,
And believe me, I was so sad, because that is something that the parents never, I should don't never experience.
right,
And but life is like this way. It's just like we cannot control. And I believe is you have a strong faith, this will sustain you, because when something like this happen,
mm-hmm,
it's no other, it's not like you're gonna go and put the bandage in
no,
your heart, and you will be okay. No, it's just, it's impossible. You for more that you try many different things, like you say, you're gonna go on the roller coaster, because you need to grieve, you need to have like these moments that you will, and you need to cry, and you need to confront this pain. That's will be the best part. Or I will totally recommend, don't jump ahead trying the show to others, oh no, I'm okay. It's nothing happened. Because this is not the reality.
That's
And but we try to do many times, because other things that we do is we always think about like our other loved ones.
right.
And you try to don't put your emotions out, because the in my case it was my husband. And I was always trying to be the support for him, and he was doing the same. So we are no cannot put out all these bad emotions, because we consider that will hurt him, or vice versa. So I was trying always to be the strong one, and oh yeah, nothing happened. But you need to have like your moments that you are grieving, and you need to have like all this time for you for recuperate.
Yes.
And so I think this is very important. Like you don't be in denial. And really what you are going through is the most unbearable situation. And you need to understand what exactly is the reality, how you can help yourself and others, because this affect many people. It's not only it's affect you, but it's affect your family, Michelle's boyfriend, the friends, and many people around in the society. Because when you see situations like this one was occurred for like two straight racers, so that was doing a very irresponsible act, the going and speed and the freeway, uh, and can cause so much damage.
So much.
And,
Yeah.
and so you will think immediately, wow, what these people is thinking when they are doing this. It's like, what is the part of responsibility? Like I told Michelle, like, oh, you need to be responsible when you drive. And well, she doesn't drink and ever. So, and I also, I don't drink.
Wow.
So I was, she has this goal, like to always be clear in her life, do the things right. But like you can confront like that, what you cannot control over the other people is doing. And this is the situation we live daily. Like we cannot control what the well other person will do, but we can control our actions. And how we will confront the situations when something happened like this. And I decided I'm not gonna keep hatred in my heart. And I immediately, I think, and this is something like really by my faith, I was like really helping to don't feel no anger in my heart. And immediately I forget the people caused this. And I think that this is important in when you are in this kind of situation that you want to blame somebody. And always when you lost someone that you love, it, immediately you will try to blame, or maybe it's I do this, or maybe it's I do different, or maybe it's I
Right.
be there. But you really, you need to accept this is not true.
Mm-hmm.
So I think and this is important. I believe like we can we can really make a difference in the world, trying to helping other people, and try to like be the good example. And like the lead with the light. I think it's you live in great with the grace. And I think and it's very important to be the light in the others people's life.
The light, yes. And I remember the story, and maybe you could clarify, but there was a time where they were still looking for the person that was the driver that caused this accident that was racing, and it took a long time to finally, I don't know if he turned himself in or
No,
something.
the one of the drivers, like the one of the street racers, are in, for 22 years is gonna be in jail. So the other person, yeah, so they never find it. And so yeah, so it was only one, but he was the one really cast like the
Right.
crash.
Cool.
And so it's incredible because when you think in this kind of this type of situations, like this type of tragedies, and you, the first thing was coming in my mind, it was like, why I was the last person to find out.
Mm.
And, like, they don't call me immediately, or they don't let me know. And I don't know, I was really like, it was some part very hard for accept. Is like, when something like this happen, you think, and it's not good way to communicate to the parents this happened. But I was trying, I was trying to find Michelle. So
Yeah.
the next day, so this make even harder for parents
Mm.
to confront with some this type of tragedy, because it's like, you always were have the hope that, oh well, maybe she will. And that was no her character, so that was her character. So I never expect that she's not gonna call me. She will think and change plans. She was coming from Disneyland with the three co-workers and friends, and so it was, she used to work in Six Flags Magic Mountain. And so it was kind of like a very, she has plans to go to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. She will be transferred from College of the Canyon and to the next semester. And she has so many plans. And that is the very difficult for us, except for we are only human beings, so it's just part of the life. But it's kind of like very very hard to accept, special. And when you don't have other part is like, I think it's very important me to telling everyone, when you have one kid, and when you don't have, you concentrate all your energy, all your love in this person. And so that was other part, like, I don't know, is maybe this is a case of many mothers, like losing the one only child they have, that you confront with, right now, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
What type of identity I have, like, because when you are a mother, you are going to be a mother always, and that's not, nothing will change. And even you are not with your kids all the time 100%, your mind and your heart is always with them.
Right.
And so that is what's the first things, like, I was reading in your book and really helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And to understand, like, you can go to the rock bottom, and you need to build yourself again, and you need to raise yourself again, and try step by step, day by day. And don't be in a big hurry. That nobody is need to hurry you, because everybody is going in their different pace, and sometimes take many years. And still, I think, and for um, my husband is still, I don't think, and he are going through this difficult part, like, it's because it was her life was Michelle. Like, it was like a very, they have the very special relationship. And I think, in sometimes, like, the woman, as a woman, we can express or put it out the emotions more easy, but for men are like a little more difficult. So I think, in that is, I will say, like, not only sometimes you need to confront with the losing your child, like, that's the worst things can happen to the human being.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you need to deal with the daily life. And you just thinking, what are you going to do right now, like, what it will be my, because when you have your child, you feel like fulfill your life completely. and even you have your career, or you have like something else that you do, you focus and you inspire for your kids. They are the best masters for you. Like you learn so much from them. So when this happened, I was stopped my career for a little while. I was trying to take every day by day, but in the same time, I was asking myself, like, no, I cannot stop. I am an example of other people. I cannot go and throw myself and say, no, this is over.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to do it for Michelle too, and for me, and because I know that it's very important, and for the other people that love me, they don't want to see me like this way. And so I think, and this is what make you to recuperate. And in your case, you have Sheila and you have your daughter, and so it was like you focus all this pain in trying to move around.
Mm-hmm.
No, like get stuck, because it's very easy to get stuck with something that big happen in your life.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And I think that for us, I mean, you and your husband both attended Michael's funeral, and talking with you and other parents who went through losing a child, a young child or young adult. And that was really the conversations that helped me a lot, because there was an understanding. There's a little bit of a difference in losing somebody, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, than a child. And so that conversation, and my daughter was right there next to me, and we talked, and I think that was probably the most important conversation we had that day.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yes.
I feel so happy that they can a little more, like I feel happy that I can help in a little bit. I know, especially with Sheila, to have a good conversation with her, and because you don't know you are in shock. Pretty much, you're in shock. You don't get used to this new reality, and it is too big. It's bigger than you.
Right.
So when things like this happen, we need to hear this is kind of like a balsam of like for our soul to try to keep us alive and smiling again, and think about, well, I need to do something positive, and take it like this situation, this more than the challenge, for like try to be even better. And that's just, I think, and it's one important thing that when this happened to the Michelle's accident, that we try to both, like me and my husband, me and Willie, we try to work out things for be better every day, and understand that life is fragile. So we are here in a very short time. So let's go have like the best experience possible the time that we will be here. And I think, and this is the one thing that I learned when this happened to Michelle. And I think in my faith was more solid than ever. And that's his other part, like I think help a lot to don't give up and try to keep going, and it's no, we cannot surrender, and we need to fight hard.
Yes. And, so there are people that will tell you, or my daughter's friends would tell her, okay, it's been a month. You should be good now. And it's like, well, she wasn't ready. And everybody has their time and their process and ways. It's really good to be able to have a group, or I do have a support group that I run once a week for people that are going through the grieving process to support each other. And so I help with that. And it really does help to just be able to have a group that is going through that same journey, so that you're not always talking with friends that maybe can't relate, especially if you're like you had younger people also that survived that accident. And yes,
Yeah. And
yes,
and one of the driver, actually, the friends of Michelle, is in coma.
he's still in the coma.
Yes, after 5 years.
Oh,
So that is a very hard situation because you never have like really the closing when something like this happen, and can be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And for the mother, for the parents, it's always will be day one. And the reality is will be day one. You feel like you are kind of like tricky. The time, it's something like you feel like what happened, like this happened 5 years ago, but you feel like it was like maybe yesterday. And because your child is your life, and so when things like this happen, and can be different, it can be you lose your husband,
mhm.
you lose your parents, and always will be hard. And always you need to go through this grief period, and try to understand that you cannot move in the same pace the other person will do, because we are unique. Every person will confront the loss of someone that you love the different way. And
Mhm.
I try always to be more compassionate with people right now after this happened, because I was thinking the same way. I said, why the people don't move away? It's like they lost like the mother or the parent or the relative or somebody. And I was thinking, well, this needs to be a little the process. You always want to hurry like the person, like why is she's or talking. I don't I don't talk with almost nobody about my daughter.
Mhm.
So that is the way I right now I am writing her book, because it's a way for me to cope to, like I was like I think this is very 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 good. And also because I want to really, I think Michelle leave a trail of love
Mm.
and wisdom, and really the way she lives. And I think and it will be a good example for other young people to know, like, you can make your dreams possible, you can have a very nice and good life in doing the things right.
Mm.
And so I think this is very important.
Yes, I can't wait for the book to come out.
Yeah.
And
So
yes,
yeah, it will be like in the next couple months we will have it for sure.
wonderful. Yes, and there is a lot of work that goes into a book, and especially when you're writing a book like
It's
this about your dog.
yeah,
There's a lot.
yeah, because it's almost like I try to with this book is to talk through her, and it's
Mhm.
like it's really also I need to interpret some part of her life in her, like her the compilation of all the material that she wrote, because she was incredible writer, like really she can communicate and going directly to your heart. Then I think that this is a very good quality of the writer. You are an excellent writer too, and congratulations for your book, is excellent. And I think in this is the part, like when we are doing some material like this, like writing a book, we try is to communicate exactly the message.
Mhm.
And for the doing this, the going like for the special, like I was trying to do, like take it everything that from Michelle, not for me, because it's her book. So that's just the name of the book, it's Michelle's book, because it's actually it's almost like I feel inspired, and I was writing her story that she wants to tell the world.
Mm.
So
That's
I think it will be her legacy, like to be like present in the heart of the, because she changed many, many, many lives. Her, um, like the driver, they were very good friends, and she would believe in taking the best part of each person. So was helping with some like math class, because he was not that good in math, and after he was A plus like in math in the college. So it was like the way like she always tried to make a difference, or to create like this good deed, like to give, to sharing like all the good things for like the people can pursue the dreams and fight for their dreams. So I think that was the best part, and that I would try to do it with the book, the Michelle.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I
And
think
do you have a website now, or any,
yeah,
or
we have like the website, like it's MML 2050, and that is Michelle Marilyn Littlefield. The initials of Michelle and Roman numbers is 2050, and .com. So
Okay.
this is her website. Well, actually, yeah, my husband created this for put it everything that Michelle, her life is entirely her life. And I think, and sometimes we gave like my husband did the like with the website and everything, because I think for the young people it's very important to know and sometimes read the stories. What she wrote many things. Everything that will be in the book is in the website too. And also it was like I am trying to. This is will be really my first novel, but I will try to do possible the second book, and trying to more focus in the story of Michelle after, like what happened, because you you never like, because one person died, but love never ends, and
Yeah.
you always are connected. And I think, and this is very important for the parents that lose like the child, to know like your kid always will be with you.
Oh, yes.
This is no separation really.
No, we always have signs. Shayla and I always have signs and little
It's
messages,
incredible.
things that show up that are like, okay, that can't be possible. No way can anything explain it. And it's like a little message or a guide or a feeling. And
And it's just like you don't have no idea how many ways like you will have during the rest of your life. I don't think it. You never stop to having like this type of like communication. They are part of you, so they always will be with you.
yes,
I think
yes.
it's very, very good.
Yes, and they're probably looking at our world right now and thinking, "Wow, they get to watch all this crazy stuff." And talk
Exactly.
about it all.
We need it more than ever. We need to have some guidance. Especially the young people need to have like the support, and need to have like the guidance, like the values, some way they can feel like the life is not going like with no direction. They need direction, and right now more than ever, especially in these times that we are living, like with everybody thinking this it's okay, if I want to do it, why not? And I think, and this is the part that we can contribute for the society, for like the young adults and the teenagers, and to give this strong support, strong values and direction.
Right. Yes, maybe more now than ever. Our children are home. Colleges are closed still. I know that my daughter is doing the online school at home, college at home, because the school's closed, and they don't have school in the campus yet. And with that,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying
To
the
have her, like you guys can do many things like mom and daughter. That's
and
great.
it's like and you know what she said was, "Oh, mom, if ever there was a time we needed a universal pause, we needed the whole world to shut down for us to really honor that time we needed.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not incredible that you can have, I this is other things. For me, the 2020 in many ways was a real blessing because I have the time for myself, like that you don't have because you always are working, doing something, and you have like your schedule very short for like to have like different things that you have like in life, like hobbies, or like I do in all these months, like we are isolated from the world. Like I developed like more passion for cook and bake. And so I think I am a very active person, so I like to always do many things and create new things. And so I think, and this is kind of my personality, but I think for somebody like have different type of personality and need more the social life, need to be terrible to be isolated, because this is the only things helping, like especially teenagers or the young adults that was need to be in contact with others. And it's not enough like do the FaceTime or be on the computer or chat with somebody. No, they need to see each other, they need to hug. And this contact, that was very difficult. So I think that is the most important part that we need to is helping them. And especially at this moment, like we are living in a different world.
Yes. So reach out to your friends, family. If you have young people in your life, whether you're a parent or you have nieces, nephews, cousins, somebody, and reach out to them, because right now they need lots of love and hugs and conversations from people that are grounded and steady to get through this time, and let them know that we are okay and we're getting to the other side of this, and bring them happiness and peace, and listen to what they have to say. Maybe we don't have the answers, they just need us to listen. And
exactly. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's so important. So important to we need this physical contact. We cannot be like it is, even like when you have like a premature baby, they say they need to like the touch. It's very important. And lately we are experienced like totally the opposite. We cannot see each other, and we cannot be in places or like have meetings too big, because it was pretty hard. And I think I was thinking about like the young people, they need to be having very hard time. And so what we can do for them, and always this is my goal is always a, since I right now I don't have a daughter, but in physical way I still have her and I always will have. But what always she was trying is help the other people, like conquer all the fears, and feel like so strong they can do anything. And I believe that, and I believe everybody can do anything, is you be persistent and you have discipline, and you special be connected with the values, and connected with your faith, because I think this is very important.
Yes, very much so. And I would love to, I will actually share again. And when you have the book ready to go, also, I will share that again on this show, so that to make sure everybody can get a copy of Michelle's story. And that will be wonderful. Thank you again for being a guest on the show,
Thank
Gigi.
you so much, Sheila. And I send them many kisses and big hug to you and Sheila too. And we will see you soon.
All right. All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
A portion of chapter 2.
Feel your feelings. Grief. My dad was diagnosed with cancer and passed away on Father's Day, a few months before my son was born. 3 months later, his mother passed away, joining my paternal grandfather, who had passed away when I was younger. 6 months after that, my grandmother's death, my maternal grandfather passed away. Then my maternal grandmother, the last of my grandparents, passed away too. I lost all of these relatives in such a short period of time. I had 4 gift stores and was getting the 5th up and running. I had just given birth to my youngest child, and I was taking care of the other people who were still alive, and they were grieving too. I noticed that my remaining family and our close friends all grieved differently. Some people cried straight on for a couple of weeks or months and just really disconnected from society. They went into complete grieving, like they took a grief vacation. Other people who had a tendency to drink or use other substances went off the deep end with their addiction as a coping mechanism. Then they had to get through that backslide and get back on their feet and out of whatever bad habit was brought back into their life. I had never faced so much death or had anything big to grieve before. I didn't know what to expect of myself or how to process this grief and sadness. I still had to function. I had to pay the bills, take care of the kids, do all the things that a parent does. I had other elders who were still living, who were sick and needed care. I didn't have the luxury of taking that grieving break, although that would have been helpful and healthier. So I worked for 14 to 16 hours straight until I was ready to collapse from exhaustion. I remodeled every store. I redid all the displays. I decorated for every new sale. When the store closed and it was after hours, I would listen to music, sing, and cry while I designed. I didn't let it out all at once, but in little bits at a time. It took a good 6 months to cry out all my tears after my dad died. And of course, in those 6 months, somebody else died. I wasn't done. I was back at it again. But this time I knew how I processed it. I never took time off, but work was my therapy. That was my drug of choice, and it was a very productive one. I just worked and cried in the privacy of my own space. When I was with customers, I had my public face on. I would greet them and be present and happy and help them find what they were looking for. I was able to take a small break from grieving in those moments, and that was a relief. I didn't have to grieve full time. It wasn't until a couple years later, after my father and grandparents had died, that I realized it took longer, maybe, for me to process because I only let little bits out at a time instead of having a total breakdown. I slid slowly into that rock bottom instead of diving headfirst. Through the fog. Grief looks different for everybody. Each person goes through the grief process in their own way and for different lengths of time. You might need 6 months of solid grieving or a year, or you might let it out a little bit at a time like I did. You could have advice from the best people on the planet, but until you're ready, you can't move on. I have an older friend whose husband died, and she had to go through a 2-year time frame of dealing with her grief and adjusting to her loss. She calls this transitional time the fog. Grief and the ensuing fog can come for anyone, and you just need to give it time. If you move on too soon, you're not healed up, and you can end up in a new broken situation, whether that's a bad relationship or battling an addiction. It's best not to make huge decisions until you get through the fog, so you don't make the wrong choices. If you do need to make a serious decision, make sure to consult an expert, get second or third opinions, and listen to your intuition. You need to get through the fog in order to get to a healthier, happier place. You are not alone, and the fog will not last forever. That I can promise. Know that there's a point when you're finished grieving, but that doesn't mean you will never grieve again. My dad died on Father's Day, so every year when Father's Day comes around, I'm still melancholy. I choose to celebrate the magic memories I had with my dad and am grateful to be connected to all my cousins who are on his side of my family. Today, I have happy memories, and once in a while I shed a tear for those who have transitioned. The pain of my loss has lessened with time, yet it had to be on my time. I've come to terms with my family's transition. Now, I feel my relatives who have passed are all spiritual beings helping me out here and there. I will often say to myself, I wonder how my dad or grandparents would have dealt with this situation. Then I can almost hear their words of wisdom. All their wisdom and memories are planted in the pocket of my heart as an additional guide and resource for me, always. We are still very much connected. Our relationship has just changed a little. I'm always grateful for their memories and the legacy of wisdom they left for me. 20 years later, you still honor and grieve your loved ones in one way or another. It's not like they disappear from your heart. You just come to a different place where it's not as difficult as when it first happened. Until you're ready and able to move on, nobody can push you. The door is open. There's no lock on the door, but you have to walk through it on your own. Say goodbye to other people's expectations. Just as there's no right or wrong length of time for the grieving process, there's also no right or wrong way to process that grief. When you're grieving and going through this personal situation, you're going to have a lot of people who try to help you through it or expect you to just get over it. How you grieve and process that grief is right for you. No one can tell you exactly what you need. Honor the time it takes for you to grieve. Walk and work through it rather than just trying to get over it. Walking through the grieving journey is natural, normal, completely healthy, and sane. It's part of our process as human beings. Honor that part of you as much as you honor the part that laughs and plays and does fun things. That emotion of grief is just as good and helpful and purposeful as any other emotion we have. It's sometimes looked down on in society, or we're made to feel like we have to hide our grief. You can do whatever you choose to do with that, but don't hide it from yourself. It's like any kind of healing. If you want to heal, you're going to have to go through the pain. To get to that other side, you have to come to terms with it in your own way, and everybody has their own way of coming to terms with it. Some people may take time away from everybody else and pray or meditate in isolation. Others may choose to surround themselves with people or distract themselves in work or volunteering to take a break from the pain. Too many people feel the should in a lot of parts of their lives. I should feel this way, or I should do this because I see other people grieving like this. Find some way to honor what you need, whether that's taking a walk every night or going to bed early or just asking for help getting through the day. If you need to cry every night for 6 months or journal or take long walks or hike or do yoga every day to get through it, do whatever you need to do.
So for those of you tuning in today, I have a special gift offer for you. It is a free gift. So if you or a loved one you know may be walking through the sacred journey of grieving to healing this holiday season, go to www.sheilamac.com/grief support, and there you or your loved one will receive a free ebook for the sacred steps to healing through the grief process. Here it is, my latest book. I have to let you know something, just between you and me. This book is not one size fits all, just like a pair of boots or a bra. So the formula is designed to help you through any situation. Up for you to grab a copy of my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. It is now available on Audible as well as on Amazon and Kindle and at www.sheilamac.com.